Hello, Week to Warrior. Devin here. So, carnivore diet. It's been all over everywhere. Got Sean Baker, Paul Saladino, Michaela Peterson, Jordan Peterson, all these people talking about the carnivore diet and variations of that, ketogenic diets, paleo diets, another sort of variation, the Liver King phenomenon, all these things. And it kind of begs the question, does an all-meat diet work? Who does it work for? How should I approach this? And I want to share some thoughts. So, an all-meat diet doesn't work forever. If you try to only eat meat for the rest of your life, maybe you'll have success with it. You'll certainly feel good for a while, but it's not likely going to work for longer than a year, 2 years, 3 years before you start running into long-term electrolyte imbalances. Maybe around the 6-month mark, you'll need to start supplementing sodium and other electrolytes. And this need will keep increasing until you eventually need to incorporate some form of sugar in order to allow your kidneys to regulate your electrolytes without supplementing electrolytes. So ultimately, a carnivore diet is really, really good in the short term. Great in the short term, great in the medium term too, but in the long term, it kind of runs into weaknesses. So what I recommend is doing a cyclic carnivore diet, doing carnivore for 2 or 3 days, doing a higher carb diet for 2 or 3 days, and maybe varying that, doing maybe like 1 day on carnivore, 3 days higher carb, 3 days carnivore, 1 day higher carb, fasting for 1 day, but really playing with all these different variables and supplementing electrolytes and focusing on your sleep, but trying the cyclic carnivore approach. You get the best aspects of carnivore, the best aspects of carbs. You can improve your insulin sensitivity, improve your inflammation a lot, improve your sleep quality, sex hormone quality, muscle mass, performance in the gym. That's definitely one thing I notice is when I'm doing a higher carb diet, I might feel really good, but over a while I notice that I start slowing down, my muscles start losing a little bit of strength, or at least not gaining strength as quickly. I start needing longer to recover. I gain fat a little faster. And it really seems to be some problem with insulin resistance going on. And a lot of this is genetic, based on like what your metabolic type is, how you process carbs versus how you process fats, what your inflammation is doing at the moment, all these different factors. But ultimately, I noticed this trend where staying too long on carnivore, I run into problems. Staying too long on a high-carb diet, I run into problems. But doing this varied approach and cycling on a carnivore for a little bit longer at points in time, staying on a higher-carb diet for a little longer at points in time, doing that is what works best for me. Try it. Maybe it'll work best for you. Done. Subscribe for more.